making them take the vaccine, but however, if they choose to, it should be made affordable to them and easy to get.
Tonight, Western states roll out new guidance to ease confusion over vaccines. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. The governors of 4 states here in the West today unveiled their own set of vaccine recommendations, while in a separate move, the governor of another state is using executive power in an effort to try to help keep people healthy. We begin tonight with that West Coast Health Alliance that was recently formed. The governors of Hawaii, Washington, Oregon, and California released joint recommendations today urging people to stay up to date on vaccines ahead of the winter season. And they're specifically putting the emphasis on vaccines for COVID-19, flu, and RSV. The state's health officials agree vaccines remain the best defense against many severe illnesses and the spread of respiratory viruses. They say their recommendations are based on science-based advice as the federal government reshapes its vaccine policy. These local officials here in the West are concerned that what they believe is political interference at the CDC will weaken trust in federal recommendations. Today, Oregon health officials spoke about the risks they see if they don't push this multi-state effort.
Concurrent increases in influenza, RSV, and COVID-19 activity can easily stretch hospital capacity across the state. Oregon has one of the nation's lowest hospital bed capacities per person in the country, but that's largely in part due to our state's ability to keep demand for those beds low, especially when people stay healthy by getting vaccinated and keeping themselves, their loved ones, and their neighbors safe and out of the hospital.
Part of the state's new guidance includes a joint statement from governors in this alliance, and they said in part, quote, "Our states are united in putting science, safety, and transparency first and in protecting families with clear, credible vaccine guidance. The West Coast Health Alliance stands united in protecting public health and always putting safety before politics." Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs issued an executive order that she is hoping will clear up confusion for people who are seeking COVID-19 vaccines in her state. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez spoke with patients and doctors about the current health care options.
I spoke to people today who were confused about the current COVID vaccine guidance. Secretary RFK Jr. says that it's only recommended for certain groups of people, which means only those groups of people can walk into a pharmacy and get the shot. But Governor Hobbs issued an executive order, and she says in the state of Arizona, if you want to get the jab, you have the right to do so. There was uproar in the spring when Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. changed COVID-19 vaccine guidelines.
You promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacy.
Only approving the shot for people 65 and older or people with at least one underlying health condition. Removing healthy children, pregnant women, and anyone who wants it from the recommended immunization schedule. The move also ensures the COVID vaccine is not mandated.
Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
That ends today.
The move implied a person would need to get a doctor's prescription in order to get the COVID vaccine from their local drugstore.
I don't believe in making them take the vaccine, but however, if they choose to, it should be made affordable to them and easy to get.
Well, RFK Jr.'s new rules no longer apply in Arizona. Governor Katie Hobbs issued an executive order this month that directs the Arizona Department of Health Services to make vaccines accessible and available to Arizonans who want them, issuing a standing order that serves as a prescription to pharmacists to administer the shot. Dr. Andrew Carroll worked with state medical organizations to help craft her order.
Her executive order allows for people to continue to get the vaccines that they choose to get at the place most convenient to them. To date, the easiest place to receive those vaccinations was at a pharmacy.
If anybody wanted, they should be able to get it.
Hobbs writes, with this executive order, we are following the science and ensuring that Arizonans have access to vaccines to keep themselves and their families safe. Now, the secretary could choose to sue over this executive order, but in the meantime, if you want to get the shot, go get one, no doctor's note needed. What we don't know right now is if insurance companies will cover the shot. That's going to be decided in the coming days. In Phoenix, Ashley Rodriguez, Fox 10 News.
Secretary Kennedy's new vaccine advisory committee will be meeting tomorrow and Friday. It's expected to vote on whether to change recommendations for vaccines against COVID-19, hepatitis B, and chickenpox. And you can head to our website, westcoastwrap.com, to have a closer look at the ongoing debate over vaccine recommendations. Well, for the first time since being ousted, the former director of the CDC was being questioned today publicly about her ousting. Dr. Susan Menares told the Senate Health Committee that she was fired after she told Health Secretary Kennedy that she could, quote, not pre-approve recommendations without reviewing the evidence and had no basis to fire scientific experts that Kennedy said he could not trust her.
Secretary Kennedy demanded two things of me that were inconsistent with my oath of office and the ethics required of a public official. He said if I was unwilling to do both, I should resign.
We are the sickest country
In front of the same committee 2 weeks ago, Secretary Kennedy accused Menares of lying about the circumstances of her dismissal and says she admitted to being untrustworthy. We turn now to a developing story that's being followed closely all across the country, including here in the West tonight. 3 police officers were killed and 2 others were hurt in a shooting that happened in a rural township about 115 miles west of Philadelphia. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has ordered flags across that state to be at half staff. Authorities gave an update earlier tonight. Other responding officers then shot and killed the gunman, who so far has not been identified. The officers who were killed were at that location following up on a case.
They were there to follow up on an investigation that began yesterday. The general heading of that investigation, I would say, would be domestic related.
Investigators remain at that scene tonight. Those 2 injured officers are said to be in critical but stable condition. We learned tonight that ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely after the talk show host's comments about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. During Kimmel's monologue last night, he suggested the shooting suspect was tied to the MAGA movement. ABC made the move after Nexstar Media, a large station group, said it would preempt Kimmel's late-night show, calling his comments, quote, offensive and insensitive. FCC Chair Benny Johnson called Kimmel's remarks, quote, the sickest conduct possible. It's unclear whether Kimmel has the ability to appeal that suspension. New details are being revealed now about the arrest of the 22-year-old who's accused of shooting and killing Kirk last week. The sheriff in Washington County, Utah, says Tyler Robinson agreed to turn himself in only if he met with plainclothes officers. Investigators say he was afraid of being shot by law enforcement and didn't want a SWAT team showing up at his house. A retired sheriff's deputy drove Robinson and his family to the sheriff's office. Deputies held him there until other law enforcement arrived. Robinson's next court date is set for September 29th. A bomb squad investigated a suspicious bag that was left near the site of a growing memorial for Charlie Kirk today in Arizona. The bag was found this morning in Phoenix, outside of the headquarters for Kirk's Turning Point USA organization. Law enforcement cleared that scene as a bomb squad responded to the area. Investigators determined the bag was safe and then lifted restrictions around that site. Authorities have not said what was inside the bag or whether anyone has been taken into custody. And a public memorial is going to be held this Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona for Kirk. Police are already putting out warnings that no overnight camping is going to be allowed. The stadium's parking lot is going to open up at 7 o'clock Sunday morning, with that service expected to begin at 11 a.m. President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Kirk's widow, Erica, are all expected to speak at that service this coming Sunday. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, some Las Vegas hotel guests seeing AI as they check in. Coming up tonight, how a robot has been tasked with keeping those guests happy.
And here is our live camera, as you can see, looking out toward the San Francisco Bay Area. Some tropical clouds moving into parts of the state and for California that could bring in some rain showers and thunderstorms. We'll have more on your forecast coming up.
just buying a ticket and then hoping that maybe you'll make it to your destination. Is that their entire teams and thousands of people in the background.
It's a daily daunting task for airlines. We're taking you behind the scenes of airport operations to see how they keep travelers on schedule. The body found inside a Tesla at a Hollywood tow yard earlier this month has now been identified. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner today identified the victim as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. She went missing in April of last year from Lake Elsinore in Riverside County. That Tesla had been abandoned and then towed when employees at that tow yard noticed a smell and called police. Investigators linked the car back to a singer known as David, although he has not been named as a person of interest in this case. TMZ's Charles Ladaboudiere spoke to the victim's mother recently, who said Rivas had been dating someone also named David. She also said that she had identified her daughter based on a tattoo on her index finger.
We found out something else about that tattoo I think is very interesting. We found photos of the singer, David, with that same tattoo on his right index finger.
Police say the singer is cooperating with them. He has been on tour since August. His show tonight in Seattle was canceled. He is set to perform in San Francisco on Friday and LA coming up on Saturday. A Southern California judge convicted of killing his wife was sentenced today to 35 years in prison. A judge sentenced Orange County Superior Court Judge Jeffrey Ferguson. Prosecutors say Ferguson shot his wife to death during a drunken argument in 2023. Ferguson says that shooting was an accident. A Utah judge overseeing the death penalty case for convicted killer Ralph Menzies says he will not speed up competency evaluations as requested by the Utah Attorney General's office. Menzies was convicted in 1986 for murdering Maureen Hunsaker. He was sentenced to death, but the Utah Supreme Court stopped his execution due to a decline in his mental capacity. The victim's family has expressed frustration over ongoing delays to execute Menzies. A hearing is set in this case for this December. Tonight, one airline is offering a behind-the-scenes look at airport operations, hoping to give the public an idea of what it takes to try to keep travelers on schedule. This is a live look tonight at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, one of the busiest airports here in the West, handling more than 1,000 flights each day. Fox's Kennedy Hayes spent some time at United Airlines in Denver and Chicago to see the choreography involved in getting those flights where they need to go.
It definitely takes a team. United Airlines is the world's largest carrier with more planes in the sky than any other airline. The other week, I got a behind-the-scenes look at their network operations center. It's just outside of Chicago, and it oversees nearly 5,000 flights every day. A space with 26 different work groups and more than 2,000 employees, this is United Airlines Network Operations Center.
It is really where our global operations is controlled.
Carell Marguerites helps manage the day-to-day operations here.
About knowing that anything around the world can happen, all the things that come up that could potentially disrupt a flight, our job is to collect that information and then communicate that out to the field.
Marguerite says it's a 24/7 operation trying to keep thousands of planes safe and on time. The Network Operations Center is in constant contact with pilots, airport staff, and tech teams, handling issues as they come up and monitoring everything from flight tracking and aircraft maintenance to crew scheduling and weather disruptions.
A hurricane that is east of the Hawaiian Islands that we're closely monitoring.
Nathan Polderman manages the Operations Center's meteorology team. They're responsible for forecasting and deciding whether flights may need to be canceled or delayed.
In some cases, we've had 2 or 3 hubs with thunderstorm activity on the same day. So you can imagine that makes the weather team very busy.
Polderman says their meteorology team starts with 2 forecasters overnight and 4 during the busiest hours to keep a constant eye on weather conditions. The flight dispatch team uses these forecasts to make decisions about every flight.
Like turbulence or icing or bad weather at the destination airport. And if anything is going to happen to that flight, that dispatcher is going to coordinate that.
The NOC stays connected with airports nationwide. Their goal to handle any potential issues before they impact your flight.
Not just buying a ticket and then hoping that maybe you'll make it to your destination. Is that their entire teams and thousands of people in the background.
What surprised me the most was just how quiet it was in there, even with everything going on. And United leaders tell me that's on purpose. No panic, just calm coordination. At Denver International Airport, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
All right, let's talk about our weather here in the West because rain is making a comeback in some parts of the West. These are EarthCam images showing what the scene has been like in San Diego for most of the day. You can see it is cloudy and rainy here. The wet weather coming from the remnants of Tropical Storm Mario, which is off the coast of Baja California tonight. For more, let's bring in KTVU's chief meteorologist, Mark Tamayo, who is tracking the potential that storm system or its remnants will create thunderstorms across California. Mark?
Yeah, that's our thinking, Alex, as that moisture makes its move to the north, so possibly impacting the San Francisco Bay Area out toward the Central Valley as well. Here's a look at the rainfall totals in Southern California over the past 24 hours. You can see Palomar Mountain, that's over a half an inch of rainfall. San Diego, one site showing 0.21. Pomona, 0.12, and Escondido, 0.07. So you can see the active radar just over the past few hours, as you can see just off the main action, in fact, has been just offshore to the west of San Diego, but still some coverage as you can pick out just over the past few hours. As we widen out the view here, this is trying to make its move to the north, closer to Central California, and could be impacting the Bay Area and out toward the Central Valley later in the day Thursday and then into Friday. As a result, we do have a flood watch posted for all these areas from Fresno down towards Los Angeles, so a good portion of Central and Southern California expecting some at least increasing rain chances with the possibility of some thunderstorms. This was Seattle today, showing you a high of 78 degrees with some hazy skies out there. San Francisco, the Bay Area, picking up on that cloud cover in advance of what was once Tropical Storm Mario. A bit humid, a bit muggy in the Bay Area over the next couple days. And then this was a scene in Phoenix today, showing you partly cloudy skies, 101 degrees this afternoon. Current numbers out there right now. Las Vegas checking in 95, Reno, Nevada 84, and then some 70s around 73 to 75 degrees in the Pacific Northwest for both Portland and Seattle. Here's the game plan for tomorrow. You can see some sunshine out towards Seattle and Denver. Possibility some thunderstorms for the Phoenix area. We could be tracking some more thunderstorms and some rain for Southern California, and that chance is kind of being pushed up to the north, impacting the San Francisco Bay Area. Here's the Fox weather model clearly showing you the bulk of the action tomorrow morning in Central and Southern California. As you can see, there's not a lot of action up toward Seattle or Portland. And then into the afternoon hours, this is one particular forecast model. It's showing you the rain showers kind of surging up to the north and to the east of the Bay Area, and then up into Northern California as we do make our way into Friday afternoon. So here's a look ahead to the next 3 days. Seattle has a sun-cloud mix. San Francisco, the possibility of some rainfall, especially later in the day on Thursday into Thursday night. For Los Angeles, it is unsettled with the possibility of some showers and still the chance of some showers or thunderstorms out toward Phoenix, and lots of sunshine out toward Denver. So it's always interesting when you bring a remnant or an old tropical storm into the picture. We could have some interesting visuals in parts of California for tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot for you to keep track of here for the rest of this week. Mark, thank you. Landscape designer in Colorado is on a mission to replace traditional lawns in yards with more drought-tolerant plants that are native to the area. Erin Murphy is the owner of Restorative Landscape Design, and her work focuses on xeriscaping. The term combines landscape with the Greek word xeros, which means dry. Murphy says when it comes to designing your yard, the possibilities are endless.
So you can have, most people think of like a gravel garden with perennial plants in it when they think of xeriscaping. You can also have a lush prairie. You can have a crevice garden or a rock garden with tiny little plants growing amid stone features. You can have a cactus garden.
Federal data shows the average family uses 320 gallons of water every day, and nearly a third of that is devoted to outdoor water use. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a memorable Olympics experience at an affordable price, how much it's likely to cost to attend the 2028 Summer Games in LA, and when those tickets go on sale. Also, a high-tech concierge is getting a lot of attention in Las Vegas. See how they're greeting hotel guests.
I'm here to charm and guide guests at Autonomous with wit and wisdom, and maybe a sprinkle of tech flag.
This was the situation on Wall Street today, where the major averages ended the trading session mixed after the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates today by 1/4 of a point in a much anticipated move. The Dow was up today by 260 points, but the Nasdaq dropped by 72 points, and the S&P 500 was essentially flat during the trading session. As Los Angeles prepares to host the Summer Olympic Games in 2028, officials tonight are offering details on how to buy tickets for the event. Earlier today, LA 28 officials said the ticket sales will begin in January of 2026 for the Olympic Games and in 2027 for the Paralympic Games. People who live near the Olympic venues will get early access to those tickets, and that includes communities in LA, Orange, and San Diego counties. Officials say single event ticket prices for the Olympics and Paralympics will start at $28, but prices will go up as the Olympic Games get closer. Finally, tonight, a Las Vegas hotel is using AI to make a lasting impression on guests. Fox 5's Tom Durian shows us how the hotel's robot uses intelligence, wit, and humor to make visitors feel welcome.
What brings you through these glamorous doors today?
Checking into one Las Vegas hotel just got a lot smarter and entertaining.
Personally, I'm still hoping they build a Vegas-style lounge on top of a glacier. Just imagine the light show.
Meet Otto, the robot powered by artificial intelligence. He stands in the lobby of the Autonomous Hotel near Russell and Decatur and is ready to chat with anyone who comes through the doors.
I'm here to charm and guide guests at Autonomous with wit and wisdom, and maybe a sprinkle of tech flag.
Otto has the official title of the hotel's Chief Vibes Officer. Not only is he able to check guests in and out and put in service requests, he can also answer any questions visitors may have, like where to eat.
Gotcha. Scouting some cool spots for you.
Give fun facts.
Crunching those room numbers now. Las Vegas has over 150,000 hotel rooms.
And he even had some fun with us.
Fox 5 News, also known as Channel 5 here. They're the go-to for local news. True Vegas icons in their own right.
Well, thank you. It's another addition to the entertainment capital of the world, but officials say it's one that brings functionality and interaction to help with hospitality on the ground.
So he really just keeps people happy, charmed, but he's also able to act quickly and service guests at a much faster pace than just a person.
Giving people an AI experience that feels like home.
Whatever piques your curiosity, I'm ready to indulge it.
And that was Fox 5's Tom Durian reporting tonight from Las Vegas. Otto is powered by IntBot, a company that's based in Sunnyvale, California, right in the heart of Silicon Valley. According to IntBot's website, the startup envisions that its robots will be used next in airports as well as a number of other resorts. Fascinating to see that. All right, that does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching as always, and a quick reminder before we go tonight, you can stay up to date on all the big stories we're covering across the West Coast. You can do that by heading to our website. It's westcoastwrap.com, and we hope you stream our shows on your smart TV. All you need to do is download the free Fox Local app to do just that. Have a great night.